persuaded him to build a church on the side, as he would know, the following day. Of course, only a miracle could be, because it was the night in between the 5th and the 6th of August. And normally in Rome we have more than 100 Fahrenheit. But the day after, the Pope woke up and he found the snow. So he decided to build the church, and the church was dedicated to our Virgin Mary of the Snow. Then in the Renaissance time, the Pope Sixtus IV decided to rebuild the church, a new church, over the old one. And now the shape, the inside of this church is the inside built in the 1500. The main facade was built later, at the end of the 1600s, so we can say that the facade is a Baroque facade, and it was projected by an artist called Ferdinando Fuga. So this is the biggest one dedicated to the Virgin Lady. Inside we do have also the funerary monument of Gian Lorenzo Bernini, the main architect of the Baroque age. And inside of this church there is also a chapel that is called the Sistine Chapel. This is just to let you know that in Rome we don't have only one Sistine Chapel, but two Sistine Chapels. The very first one, that is the one that we will see this afternoon, and then there is the second Sistine Chapel, that is a small chapel built by a wish of the Pope Sixtus V, that is located inside of the Basilica of St. Mary the Major. So now, if you take a look on your left, you will see the Basilica. And then you have the Basilica of St. Mary the Major. Then there is this street that is called Via Merulana, the street ahead of us. That is a street built by a wish of the Pope Sixtus V in the 1600, in order to link the Basilica of St. Mary the Major to the Basilica of St. John in the Lateran, that is at the very end, at the far end of this street. Then we do have, you will see also now, as soon as we pass the traffic light, that right in front of the Basilica there is located a Corinthian column coming from the Basilica of Massenzio that we have seen before. And on top of this column there is a statue representing the Virgin Mary and Jesus. Because the Basilica was built on your left hand side, the Basilica of St. Mary the Major, the Basilica was built after a very important council, the Council of Ephesus, who proclaimed the Virgin Mary the Mother of Jesus Christ. You're going to see the facade now. As I told you, the facade was built later, it's a Baroque facade, and then you have the balcony. As soon as we get closer, you will be able to see also the mosaics that are located into the balcony. We are talking about very, very important mosaics built in the 12th century AD by an artist called Filippo Rosutti. And the mosaics show to us the miracle of the snow falling. The mosaics are very, very nice. Also inside of the Basilica, on the main altar, there is a very important mosaic, another one, made by Jacopo Torriti. So the three best artists for the mosaics art were Torriti, then you have Cavallini and also Rosutti. Anyway, the best moment for the mosaic art in Italy and in Roma, because all of them were Roman artists, was in the 12th century after Christ. Then you're going to see the bell tower as well, that is the highest of Rome, and the bell tower too was built in the 12th century AD. But take a look to the columns. So this is a Corinthian column. We recognize that is a Corinthian column for the decoration of the column. And then on top you have the Virgin Mary with his baby, because the church was built after the famous Council of Ephesus. This basilica is a typical basilica composed by three naves. There is the central naves and then two, one to the right and another one to the left. The main altar, and also the transept with the famous mosaic. You're going to see that there are two palaces, one to the right and one to the left, that were built by a wish of a pope. The one to the right by Paul V is written on the palace, and the other one to the left by a wish of Benedictus XIV. Anyway, both of the palaces were built in the 1700s, so after the main facade. Inside there is also the Holy Door, because this is a basilica, and also this basilica belongs to the Vatican city-state. It's not technically part of Italy. Is as soon as you pass this, as soon as you get inside of the basilica, you will be in another country. This is something very strange, I know, but anyway, in Rome, you have to remember that each time that you pass the borderline of the Vatican, you will be in the Vatican. And take a look, you have the symbol of the Vatican city-state is just ahead of us. So you have the coat of arms of the Pope. Then you have the two keys and the tiara. The tiara is the hat of the Pope. This is the symbol of the Vatican city-state. On the flag of the Vatican, you have the flag that is yellow and white. Then you have the two keys and the tiara. That is the hat of the Pope. On your right, this busy street is a very, very famous street dedicated to Gioberti. It's famous because it's the closest street to the Termini station. Can you see at the end of this street there is the station that was built in the 1900s. So the architect was one of the architects of Benito Mussolini, and is the main railway station of Rome. Only at the Termini station you can change the line for the subway, for instance, if you want to change from line